Greetings, fellow Empyreans. I am Ashtarothi, the voice of New Eden, and it is July 16th, YC127, and this is the Eve Universe Show! Welcome, welcome, welcome. How's it going, guys? I know, it's been a while. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I am so sorry, especially since the Solar Fest started yesterday. And unfortunately, they've actually gotten a lot more aggressive on making you log in with this one. So we're going to cover that a little bit today. I apologize. My son, he had his birthday last week, as we talked about. But I didn't manage to make it to his birthday party because it was his mom's house and all that stuff. So, you know, I offered to have time for him to come here and like maybe go to the arcade or something like that. But then his computers broke down for the summer. So he just wanted to come over and use my computer. So basically for the last 2 days or so, he's been on my computer. I haven't even been able to be on Discord, basically. I apologize for the impromptu vacation. But I am back now, and you know, yesterday was the start of Solar Fest, and no, I don't stream on Twitch anymore. But okay, so Solar Fest is live, and unfortunately, Solar Fest has it's a 7-day login reward track, and it only lasts for 7 days. So unfortunately, if you haven't already started, if you didn't get the memos, you know, if you're on our Discord, we posted about it, you know, quite a bit. So it's a good reason to be on our Discord. But if you weren't, and you weren't paying attention, you didn't log in yesterday, unfortunately, you're not going to make it to the end of the track, which has 50,000 skill points. We can look at it here. So there's only 6 days remaining. I'm pretty sure that means that if you start today, you might not be able to make it to the end. So as an offer to you guys, especially the ones of you watching live, so if within the next 24 hours, if you message me in game, if you email me with the message, "I missed a day because of you," I will send you a Master Arm Cerebral Accelerator. It doesn't have to be true. It's on me, so let me know, and just go ahead and send that message to me, and I'll get to those within the next 24 hours. But after that, then we're not going to do it. So that's my apology for you guys, but we can jump into it. So Solar Fest, this is a new thing. First of all, I want to point out, never heard of it before. We haven't had it in previous years. Could have been Liberation Day, but instead it's Solar Fest. So whatever, fine. Luminous Capsuleers. Solar Fest has arrived, and it bringing a heat wave of creativity across New Eden. By the way, it is supposed to be like triple digits here today, and I'm trying to stay cool. But if I'm extra sweaty and gross, I apologize. But we're just trying to make it through this, okay? Make sure to log in every day to claim this limited time reward throughout the week. From crates to components to skill points, there's a new gift daily. You can also truly stand out for the first time. Color shifting nanocoating, a brilliant new effect for your skins that is exclusively available during Solar Fest. This is not the first ever color shifting nanocoating. It is, I believe, the first, as we looked into it last time, I believe it might be the first color shifting gloss nanocoating, but it's definitely not the first color shifting nanocoating. I think they're talking about the Emerald Sunset Gloss. We'll look at that in just a few minutes. And then Paragon Hub offers. Next, head over to the Paragon Hub, where you'll discover 2 new exclusive design components that are now available for Plex, only available during Solar Fest. Enjoy a 50% discount on sequencing costs throughout this event, and on top of that, you'll save up to 66% on select components to bring your vibrant new skin to life. Solar Fest runs from 15th to 22nd of July. Don't miss your chance to unleash your creativity, collect gifts, and get your skins in-game. So we were afraid that this was going to be like, hey, look, CCP's releasing a whole bunch of skins that basically are the same as what Punch does. In fact, here's the video about it. I'm not going to let the audio play, just in case. You've got the cool wave effects. But it turns out, I'm pretty sure these are just the Skinner components, right? Like these skins aren't real skins that are being put out. There were no new skins put into the game or anything like that. I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Let's look up the Stormbringer. I've got my 90s splatter made by Punch. But yeah, there's no new skin for the Stormbringer out. So these are just Skinner components and the ability to sequence it for cheaper. So could theoretically be a good thing for Punch and other skin industrialists. I think that's really cool. One of the things that's worth noting out of this is that, you know, this is not the first time that they've offered discounts on sequencing, right? So if we come to one of my saved designs and we go to sequence it, yeah, we've got 45% off the total Plex price for this skin to sequence it. So it does seem like they're going to do this kind of sale occasionally when it comes to skin industrialists. So I would say that not only is this a good time to print off your skins if you're going to, but also, like, it's worth, like, this is something to keep in mind now that this is a thing that they do. This is not the first time that they've done this. 50% reading is hard. It says right. So this is when I remind everybody that I have dyslexia. And so it's 50% off to a total cost of 45. Yes, correct. Sorry about that. It is 50% off. I thought here I was like, oh, it's probably because the value is too low or whatever. But yeah, no, it is 50% off to a total of 45 Plex for this specific skin. Thanks for the correction. But yeah, I think that like one of the things to keep in mind is, like, in the same way that I often recommend, like, hey, don't buy a big sub like without a big like a cool deal for you to get, because they do, you know, there are cool deals. Therefore, if you're going to buy like a year of subscription or whatever, you'll want to wait till you can get one of those good deals. In the same sort of way, you definitely want to, like, mass produce your skins during these kinds of, like, open opportunities, because it seems like there will be these open opportunities every once in a while. So that's pretty cool. And as Punch points out, if you want discounted skins and Skinner components, let him know. You just printed 4 frigate skins at full price? Yeah, I mean, well, we didn't really know what was going to happen with this, but now we know, right? That's the whole point. We, you know, learning is half the battle or something. But I mean, there isn't much to say about this event. We can look at some of the stuff that's available. If we open up Skinner, create new design, hull selection. We used a Providence last time. That went really well. So let's go ahead and do that again. The Providence is, of course, the Amar freighter. So it's big and flat and good for seeing designs and colors. So let's see here. First is Sleeper Sand Matte. So it's like a yellowish color. I still don't like the fact that we can't search. Wait. Oh, show only owned. No. Sleeper Sand Matte. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's a very yellow color. But basically exactly the same as Citrus. Hold on. Maybe with lighting. Maybe, hold on. Is my lighting set up? Yep, my lighting's set up. Maybe with different lighting, it would look different, but man, it is indistinguishable between Industrial Lux Matte. Oh, you can kind of tell the difference between Sleeper Sand Matte and Industrial Lux Matte when you're looking at them back and forth. But Citric Substitute and Sleeper Sand, like, you can't... Can I tell any difference at all? Let's see a different ship. Hold on. This is wild. So, matte. It looks... Okay. You probably can't even tell on stream just because of the quality of the stream, but I can tell the barest hint that the free one is just slightly darker than the one that you're getting in. I mean, it's free, obviously, and the nice thing is that you won't need the components or whatever to make the one that you got for free. However, and this is what's really weird about that, and what I don't like, if you notice, the other thing that happens is at the bottom with the one that we're getting for free instead of the one that you get. Wait, I don't actually know whether or not this is a free one, because I bought a lot of the unlimited. So maybe this is... Hold on, let's see if I can buy. Yes. Let's see if I can buy that citrus thingy. Yeah, okay, never mind. So you would have to buy this skin wait, no, that's what I own. Citrus substitute gloss. I think, well, okay, I don't know whether or not the Citrus Substitute Gloss is one of those ones that you can get for free or like automatically, but it's clearly one that you can get an unlimited for. And it looks basically the same. And this is what sucks, it is lower complexity, right? So the Citrus Substitute Matte is a rarity advanced, whereas the Sleeper Sand Matte is elite. So using the Sleeper Sand matte actually increases the complexity of the skin, which makes it cost more. So it's more expensive, even though it's not unlimited, to finally sequence it. So that kind of sucks. Next, the Solar Fest crate. Do we get... I got a Solar Fest crate. Let's see what's in it. Redeemed to current station. Solar Fest crate. Initialize hacking. What do I get? I get Azure... Oh, I got an unlimited. Wait, I got an unlimited? Is that one of the new ones? When did that come out? And Quafe Zero Classic. Okay, so I got unlimited skin. That's kind of cool. Hold on. Unlimited. No, it's cheap though. I already, like, that's 48,000. So it's not that great, and I probably already have it. Yep, I already have it. So, whatever. I did get an unlimited skin. Or skinner component, I should say. Okay, so next. The Hyper Palm Frond Gloss Limited. So we go to gloss, and it's like a tealish color. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. So it's like a baby blue. Is there already one like it? Dude. I mean, it's actually a little bit less glossy than the Gelatis Aqua Gloss. And it's a little bit bluer, or like a tealer, I guess, than the Azure Skies Gloss. And it's brighter than that one. So it's pretty close to the Gelatis Aqua Gloss, which I also have unlimited of already. So whatever. Next is the Magenta Impulse Satin. So a satin. And it's like a reddish pinkish. Here we go. Oh gosh, that is very... Yeah, I mean, that's definitely magenta. Is there any other ones that kind of match that? That's darker. That's definitely not it. That's plum. Okay, well, this one actually is a fairly nice color of purple that isn't available in other ways. There's some that are close, but this one definitely does, like, that is a pretty nice pinkish purplish color that I think some people are going to like that doesn't already exist. At least as satin. So that's good. That one's good. Starburn Bronze Metallic. Metallics are usually the winners. This one's very yellow. And, like, hold on. That's what metallic looks like, right? It's very shiny and polished. This looks like a matte, doesn't it? Like, maybe a gloss, maybe a satin. This doesn't look like a metallic. It also doesn't look bronze. That's more of a bronze metallic, right? This is, I mean, like, I get that this is definitely a summer color, but I strongly disagree with the assessment that this is a metallic. Let's see, hold on. Wait, hold on. Wait, there's matte and gloss metallics? Wait, there's matte and gloss metallics? And it is a matte gloss. Wait, what's a gloss metallic look like? That's so weird. I don't know how there's... So, but this is considered a matte gloss, so, or matte metallic, so I don't know what they're doing here. But if we go over here to, like, satin... Oops. And then I go to this. I mean, it's a little bit darker. These are brighter. I mean, it's oddly the most, like, kind of the deepest yellow of all of these so far. Wait. I might have gotten a winner. Hold on. So this is Zento Legacy Gloss. And this is Starburn Bronze. I mean, yeah, okay. I can see, like, it's got a little bit of a little bit orangier, a little bit. But that's a stretch. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that one. Then on day 5, we get this interference pattern, which I think, honestly, is probably one of the cooler things out of this whole situation. So let's go ahead and look at that. Stellar interference. Yeah, this is where a lot of the actual, like, the skins that they showed off seem to be from. And I feel like that has a lot of potential. There's so much potential to this skin, to this component, or this pattern. You know, you can use the big thick line, you can use the thinner lines, you can use them both. You can make it so that it appears on only specific parts. I mean, this whole thing is basically but, like, we can go, let's say, like a caracal? Caracal. Ooh, that almost, well, yeah, you can kind of see it here. There we go. And then you can choose which areas to have it on. Yeah, that definitely has potential on this one. Okay, I like that kind of. I also like the fact that it repeats like that. That's cool. All right, there it is on all of it. Secondary color. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so next we're going to look at... Ooh. Either way, what else is there? There is another Solar Fleet kite. So then there's this Emerald Sunset Gloss, which is kind of the... this is the one that they're trying to, like, sell you on, almost, I would say. So, gloss. It's like a silvery color. There it is. So, it's like teal... Is that really that color changey? Like, it looks like it's shiny. Is that actually color changing? Like, here's the thing about them saying that this is the first color changing one. We have this one where you can see, well, that's okay. Number one thing, the biggest problem with Skinner right now is your inability to alter the lighting of the scene. I've heard this from every skindustrialist I've known. I run into this frustration too. Like, this skin is actually pretty cool. It changes from white to red depending on the angle. But you can barely see that in this one. And honestly, it looks almost like a little bit of a blue, but I think that that's just because we were just looking at that. But if we... So this idea that this is like the first color changing one is kind of wild, but it does... These are very, very summer colors. I do agree with that much, at least. Yeah. But either way, so this is like the big Skinner color for this set. And then the Typhoon Limited design. So let's go ahead and like pick like a black. And then from here, we put on, looks like a little ball. Is that it? Metaliminal Typhoon. There it is. Okay, and we want to make this like a standout color. So we'll call it red for right now. And then we can scale it up and rotate it and offset. Oh, no, I don't want to offset it that way. I want to offset it this way. And you can theoretically... Ooh, actually, if you reflect it, it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? And can I offset it? You can get some cool designs out of that, for sure. There we go. That almost like it looks like a lotus blossom, right? If we grab that color changing one, that looks like it could be pretty cool. I'd like that. So yeah, that is... Oh wait, also, sorry, there's one last piece of this, which is that in the Paragon Hub, they said that there's a couple of patterns now. So now is a good time to pick up your nano coatings if you're interested. Although these are all limited nano coatings. So if you want the unlimited ones, you still have to buy it from people that like collect them. They drop all over the place in Eve now. But we have sunken... So we have these different metallic nano coatings. Is this... So this one's only available during this event. So let's hop into a ship that will show this off a little bit better than this one. I'm sure I have something. Here we go. A Drek. Is that not gonna... There we go. Sunken plating. Again, I wonder if they're going to correct this, because this does not look metallic to me, right? Like, this looks like a metallic. You can see that the light shines off of it like it's a metal. this looks like a mat. It looks like they've made a mistake. So I wonder whether or not they're going to change it at all, or if they're going to let it be that way. And then the other thing is this, the Hyperlane Wave, which also looks really, really cool. You get 3 of these for 75 Plex, which is, I mean, remember, not only do you have to buy the 75 Plex, or buy this with 75 Plex, you only get 3 of them, and then when you go ahead and use it, it still costs you more Plex again to actually sequence the skin with it on it. So that's unfortunate, but that is a very cool, that's a very cool pattern. So hopefully, I don't know, I think that people could do some cool stuff with it, but at the same time, I wish that it wasn't quite so limited. It'd be really cool if, like, during the time that these are available, they were also dropping in places randomly, like in the same way that everything else drops, right? That'd be cool. Oh, the weave has a repeated pattern now. Yesterday it showed part of the whole line of the pattern. Yeah, there was patch notes. The one patch note that says fixed an issue with the hyperlane weave pattern that caused it to repeat horizontally instead of vertically. So yeah, that did get fixed. Feels like CCP is looking at Skindustrialists in a similar way that a drug dealer would look at an addict. I mean, maybe. So the thing is that, like, you got to remember when it comes to these kinds of things and all sorts of these sorts of things, like, there's the way that things get introduced into the system, and then there's the ways that things get used in the system, right? The fact that these are 75 Plex means that people can buy it, and then people can then sell it on the secondary market, right? Like in Jeter or whatever. And so people will be probably picking up a few of these and then saving them until after the event, so that way they can sell them for more ISK, right? Like this pattern is going to be the kind of pattern that people are going to like. And here's the funny thing, like, we talk about the poor discoverability of Skinner stuff, but the discoverability for Skindustrialists, like the people actually making the skin, is actually really high, right? If you're dinking around trying to make a skin, you've got all of the patterns at your disposal now. So you'll see this pattern and you'll do something with it and you'll be like, oh man, I want to do this skin. And then you're going to realize that the only way to get it is by paying ISK in, buying it on the market, because it's no longer available in the Skinner. So yeah, this is not actually a terrible investment, I would say, for a little bit of Plex. Now, obviously, one of the biggest problems is that it's very difficult to translate the value of the components with the value of the skin. When somebody sees a skin in the Paragon Hub, they don't think, oh man, that's a really expensive color, that's why it's so expensive. They're just looking at the skin holistically at its price. So, the question will be, is this the kind of value that then translates to real value when you go and make a skin with it? We'll have to see. Let's see. I guess nobody would be... Well, no, you could theoretically be using this one already. Has anybody done anything cool with it? That looks... I mean, that looks like it's using some of the skin. See, that's the thing. I don't know. Like, this looks like it could be using the skin parts, but, like, at the same time, these are skin parts that they could not possibly have yet. Well, they could have the yellow, so they could be doing something with the yellow, but, like, yeah, I don't know. That's one of the things that's complicated about these, like, Skinner colors. Patterns, I think, are great, but colors are odd because they're often so close to each other in appearance, right? But either way, that's Solarfest. That's basically it, right? Like I just covered everything with Solarfest. It's the discount on skinning production. It's the two things in the market, and it's this login reward track. So if you can log in all 7 days, okay. I do want to say that I do have a bit of a concern about all of this. There are so many similar colors, even replacing a metallic one with a normal one can sometimes be unnoticeable. Yeah, exactly. And I guess there is, to a certain extent, a certain amount of gameplay to it, right? Where you design a skin. You know, we've had this happen actually a lot, where you'll design a skin and you'll be like, this is great. And then you realize how much it costs to print up that skin. And so then it's about like, okay, well, this color is actually really expensive. Is there an alternative that is cheaper? So there is like a strange kind of gameplay there when it comes to it. I don't know if I could consider it compelling or not, right? But the thing about this login reward track that bothers me is the fact that it is 7 days for 7 gifts, okay? So when they started doing login reward tracks, they usually try to make it so, and I don't know if this is exactly true, but just for the sake of this conversation, let's just say that basically you have to log in for 2/3 of the days in the login reward track in order to get the big reward, okay? Which it used to be that the big reward was the last reward. And then a year or two ago, they kind of started this whole thing where there is as many rewards as there are days to log in. But the way, and that got a lot of people like riled up. But the kicker with that is that the big reward, yes, they did an event where you have to log in every day again, but it's even worse than before, because like in previous ones in the last couple of years, it's been every day, but the big reward is still about 2/3 of the way through the track, right? 3/4, 2/3, whatever. We're just making up a number at this point. I haven't done the actual math. But so like, you don't have to log in every day. There's the big reward, but what they did was they started to add like extra stuff, like boosters and stuff for the days after the big reward, just so that way, if you are logging in more than 2/3 of the day, you still have something every day you log in, right? But if you don't log in every single day, you only log in those 2/3 day, you still feel good because you get the skill points or the whatever the big prize is, right? This is, I think, the first time that they have done a login reward where there are skill points on the track that if you do not log in every single day, you don't get the final skill point reward, which is pretty aggressive, especially during the summer, right? Like, I get that they might want their login numbers to be higher during the summer because it's usually a slump or whatever, but this is actually, I'm going to just say it, kind of shitty, right? Screw you and your vacation. Screw you and your weekend off. Screw you and your, camping trip or whatever. Like, if you're doing something during the summer, you better figure out a way to log in to EVE Online every single day, or else you miss out. Are we complaining about free stuff again because FOMO? I mean, kind of. I'm just saying, like, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it is it's a change in their strategy, right? This is significant, and also, like, yeah, you know what? I am complaining about it because of FOMO, because the use of FOMO and the use of these kinds of login rewards and stuff like that is a dark pattern in game design. And generally speaking, I have defended it because you didn't have to log in every single day in order to get the rewards. So having it be this aggressive during the summer when people are supposed to be doing other stuff, just in general, I think that is shitty. I don't think that that's a great idea. And no, Solarfest is something that was completely made up just for this. There's no previous, like, there's never been a Solarfest before. There's no lore justification. There's no New Eden news. There's nothing about it. So, yeah, I feel comfortable calling out things that I don't like as well as things that I do like. And this one leaves me with a bad taste in my mouth. They call this a unique pattern when it's kind of, or like the first time that there's been a color changing thing when it's not. I do like the patterns. A lot of these colors are very similar to other colors, and the 7 days with no tolerance for missing a day, I think that that's not great. Not great. Maybe it's a reward for people that actually still play during the summer, just playing devil's advocate here. I mean, you're right, it is. But I don't think it's CCP's duty to reward people who play every day during the summer necessarily. Or at least I don't think this is the way to do it. Even if there was 9 days, right? Because, like, here's the thing. It's not just a reward for every for logging in every day. It's basically saying you can't take a weekend off. Again, like, this is during the summer when a lot of people have real life stuff that they want, right? You want to go on a camping trip right now? Guess what? You lose out on 65,000 skill points, which, again, like, and that's the other thing, is that it's not that much. That's correct. But it's enough to like turn the screws a little bit. And that, it just, I feel willing to call that out as being not the best way to do it. I'll put it that way. If they extend it by 2 days or something like that, which gives you an opportunity to maybe miss the weekend, then that would be fine. This, I'm not a big fan of. You know what? It would even be better if, because, like, having the skill points be on the last day isn't necessarily great. The pattern being on the last day would have actually been better if it was both patterns on the last day, because that way it would be a limiting on who gets to have the patterns, but it also, like, patterns can be sold on the market. So anybody who logs in all 7 days gets to have the patterns, and those patterns are valuable because there's not as many people that are going to be logging in during those 7 days. So then they can sell those on the market. And then anybody who couldn't make it those 7 days could then just go and buy it. Like, I think that that would have been a lot better too. The fact that it is skill points, which is like the thing that they like, the carrot that they use. Yeah, it just doesn't sit well with me. But let me know what you guys think. Like, am I off base on this? I'm usually the one that's defending them, so I feel pretty fine with this. But if they do the same thing for Crimson or Winter Nexus, then it's oh yeah, that would be really bad. It is strange that they went back on their by now usual practice. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. Like, so I don't know what's going on with the whole, like, supposed CCP sale. It was a rumor, or it was published in, like, one publication. There's no real solid evidence of it, and CCP and Pearl Abyss have been pretty aggressive at stomping down any rumors of it. So I'm not sure if I'm really willing to jump on that bandwagon, but I will say that the last few packs and the last few things that they've done have not smacked of a company that's necessarily trying to get their numbers pumped up to be sold, right? Like, one of the problems that we had with, like, the Liberation Day pack and a few of the other packs was that, like, historically, you could look at the skill points and the injector, or like the game time and the plex and all that stuff, and be like, okay, well, that is, that's worth that much. And then everything else is just gravy. That's my recommendation for this pack. But they've actually become far more aggressive, or not, like, aggressive in the wrong way, like far more stingy when it comes to their packs, where you actually aren't getting that great of a deal on the Plex, and other stuff, and like you really, really have to value the skins and stuff in order to find the pack useful. But then at the same time, they haven't actually added that much as far as like skins and components in addition to that. You would think that if they were trying to pump up their numbers, they would try to make those packs as attractive as possible. And maybe not with skins, or maybe not with Plex or Game Time, because that's real life money, but multi-character transfer or multi-character trainings, Skinner components, skins, like they do have those in there, but you would think that they would be adding more of those, right? Like, oh, here's 12 skins. If you buy the $75, you get $75 for the Plex and 12 skins instead of 4, right? That's what I would expect if they were trying to like pump up their numbers. It almost feels like the opposite in a lot of ways. Now, this one obviously, like, this is designed to like increase daily login numbers during the summer, which is a traditionally lower like active play time. But I don't know, man. This whole thing just kind of feels weird. This whole thing kind of feels weird. It feels rushed. Also, like, the other thing is, here's the you know the thing that really gets me out of this whole thing? Look at this picture. Do you see the trails coming out the back? If I just saw this image as the advertisement for Solarfest, or you know, here this one, like, you see the trails there too. Yes, they're showing off the pattern. That's clearly showing the pattern, but it just looks like those are a new feature, right? Holy shit, are we getting custom trails? Oh no, we're not getting custom trails. We're just getting Skinner pieces. But but the picture shows like jet engine trails, right? It's weird. It's just weird. I don't know. There's something that's off about it for me. Now then, I will say though, also on CCP TV, which is currently actually live, there's a whole schedule of different people, and right now there's the Gnosis skin. But honestly, if CCP put out Skinner particle trails, then nobody would buy their skins. Yeah, well, I mean, there might be reasons to get those, but like, I think it would be cooler, like, if there's going to be particle trails, I don't think it should be attached to the skin per se. That would be something I would expect to see in like the Paragon hub to buy with Evermarks or whatever. But hell, I'd pay money for a custom trail. Hell yeah, why not? Like, this, it's weird that they hopefully they're teasing this as an idea, but like, they haven't ever suggested it or shown anything about it or tested it or anything like that. So I don't know, whatever. When they give us blingy nice effects to Skinner, they'll change a lot of Plex for them. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, because they've kind of set it up that special effects and stuff should be Evermarks, but they've also kind of really backed off on Evermarks and the Paragon hub, or the Paragon, the Evermore, whatever, that LP store, the you know, they came out with the logos and then they just never did anything else about it again. But either way, so you can get the Gnosis Galnet skin, which I think that this thing existed before. You know, Galnet skins, if you watch CCP streams, you can get every time you get, I think, 1,000 loyalty points, you get a random skin. And then there's these Galnet skins. They did the other one the other day, and now they're doing the Gnosis, which is obviously a very good and popular ship, especially for newer players. And even for, is it 10K? Okay, there you go. The picture looks so generic. It looks like AI made a huge chunk of it. Which picture? This one up here? I disagree, because it looks like they just posted the ships, and then they literally took the image of the pattern, right? Because the pattern's just a bitmap, and then they just posted it there behind it as if it was a trail. Like, it would be almost easier to make this picture without using AI than trying to get AI to make it accurately. I would just, like, being a person that both uses Photoshop and has dabbled in making AI imagery, I would make this in Photoshop before I tried to make an AI make it for me. But I digress. So it does look like a generic 80s summer logo. So this, you know what this looks like? This looks like an intern that was given the patterns from the Skinner stuff and told to make an image off of it. That's what I'll say. That's my mean way of saying it, I guess. All right, so either way, you can get this Gnosis skin. However, this is not the big reason to watch Twitch right now, I would say. So this is if you watch CCP TV, which is fine if you want to do that and if you want to get this skin. But the bigger one, in my opinion, is... Do I have it here? Yeah. So we were looking at these skins the other day. If you watch any Twitch EVE player right now, you can get this Maelstrom Harada Oki skin, which is super sick. If you don't want it, I'll probably buy it from you for a reasonable price. It's got spikes along the side, along the back. Somebody said that they skimped out on the spikes. I don't agree. They have it on the back here. They have it on the bottom here. They have it on the back at the back on both sections. They have it on the sides. Yeah, this one's covered in spikes. But the Harada Oki is, of course, one of the groups that are part of the Deathless's crew. They are a Thucker clan. And the Maelstrom is a very strong ship, by the way. It's a pretty popular battleship. So you definitely do not want to miss this opportunity for this skin. It's, especially since it is a Twitch giveaway, there's a chance that, like, they may not do it again, which means it'll probably go up in value. Like I said, I would want multiple copies of it potentially, because now I want to make a Maelstrom fleet just because of that skin. I'll put it that way. We found a warehouse full of spikes in the Fulcrum, so we started bolting them to battleships because it's cool. It is cool. All right. Well, I think is that it for the news of the day? I think so. They made it so that some capital modules that were originally a different volume now has the same amount as other volumes. So not too much. It's been kind of a quiet week. And you know, Hobo Leaks doesn't really have anything worth talking about. Before we jump into it, because I want to do some faction warfare on stream today as kind of a thing to do for us to hang out with. But I want to say in 2 weeks, there is the Game Maker's Toolkit Game Jam. And so I really want to participate in this. I've done a couple of game jams before. I've made a game before, which I could show you guys if you want. But so, like, the idea is that you and a group of your friends or whatever get 4 days to build a game from scratch. So if you're interested in participating in a game jam and making a game with me, I'll probably be using, almost certainly will be using Unity. But hit me up if this is something that's interesting to you. You don't need to have any experience whatsoever in game development. I know how to code and stuff. But if you are interested in just checking it out and seeing what it's like, please hit me up on Discord. We're going to start gearing up for this. It's going to be in 2 weeks. And my current plan is that we'll stream a lot of the production of this game over on my second channel, which will basically be the first content ever produced for that second channel, besides one stream that was made by my son a few years ago, or like a year or two ago. So, yep, that's it for new. Oh, shoot. I didn't even show you guys. Fuck. So, yeah. This is the game jam in 2 weeks. So let me know. All right. So we are going to be doing some faction warfare today. I have some ships available. I've been wanting to check out this this Vigil Fleet issue that Malak had some pretty good success with. It has 2 rockets and some autocannons. It's a double web Vigil Fleet issue. The reason why, so like we can see that the Vigil Fleet issue has a bonus for rocket explosion velocity and damage, as well as web of fire optimal range. So that's really strong. So that means that our web is going to be 15 kilometers. I'm kind of tempted to switch this off from a scram to a disruptor because of that. But this basically makes it kind of like the hook bill, but yeah, like a Navy, like the Navy issue hook bill, but a little bit different. And we also are going a little bit like the Hull New Tristan, where we have an ancillary armor repper and a damage control, but we have transverse bulkheads for the rigs to add buffer, even though it's not armor, it's hull, but that means it's getting the most advantage out of this damage control. So that's the idea. So our webs are going to go out to 15. That's going to make it easier to catch people, but at the same time, our rockets only go to 8.5. So probably 8. Dual tank Vigil Fleet issue. Well, the dual tank breacher is a big one. Try Navy ammo. Do I not have? Well, so you can go with Tech 2 rockets because it has that explosive velocity and damage bonus. You can heat rockets, but that makes them attack faster and more damage, not shoot further. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Maybe. I think. It's almost like I just did a video on this. Let's simulate this real quick. Yeah, it does go a little bit further with Navy. So we'll definitely load some Navy. If we have any. Hold on, we may not have any extra around here. Uh-oh. Do we have any in the corporation hangars? No! We will grab a little bit of extra of this, just in case. Yeah. I guess we're going to have to bring in some Navy missiles. All right. Well, either way, let's go ahead and get out there. Hold on. We got to clear the inventory up. Apparently, I've already fought with this thing a couple times. Do I have any kill marks on this thing? I don't think so. I wouldn't know where they are if I did. I'm not going to waste a bunch of time looking. But, all right. Let's go ahead and head on out. I can't hear any audio. Ah, perfect. I missed the Killmark website. Is it gone? That would suck. All right, so we're going to go to the faction warfare map. And see, okay, so we've been doing a good job here. Avenon's at 52%. Itengard is at 85%, so that could use some defensive plexing. Turner's at 86%, so that could use some defensive plexing. And the set is at 76%, which it's been going down recently. In fact, hold on. Let me... if we go to aderon.org... and then go to Public Tools, Faction Warfare Map, we can see... Is this going to load correctly? Oh no, it's not quite loading correctly, but the data is. So if we search by system, we can see that a set has changed by 6% in a Mars direction in the last 24 hours. So chances are we'll get some resistance there. Let's go ahead and head on out. Back in alert mode, just talkative because I wanted to distract myself from doing PI. Yeah. Mimitar should get Navy rockets, heavy assault missiles, and torpedoes. I agree. It does seem kind of weird that the Caldari are the kind of the exclusive. They both get to they get to have hybrid charges just like the Galente, but then they also get the missiles. That kind of sucks. And they get Caldari Navy drones. So like, yeah, I don't know. Every time I hear Caldari people complaining about like the Executor Navy issue, I get grumpy because like Cal Mill LP has so many good uses. Bring that down and up. Hey, Malak. Ooh, 23 in local. That's spooky. Let's go ahead and check out... Oh, and it's a Sancha... Wait, hold on. There's a Sancha incursion going on here? That sucks. At least it's pretty far along. It's towards the end. Let's head to Isengard. It's the whole constellation? That sucks! Like I said, good thing it's like towards the end. That's the only thing that's good part. But that means that these rats... And rats in low sec are really aggressive. And scram, I believe. So don't get caught. You got to be in a faster ship right now, I guess. How lame. They do gate camp. Like right now, because the influence is at 0%, it means that there probably won't be too big of an issue. Actually, I think it's just a warp disruptor. I don't think that rats were given scrams until after until invasions. I think that those were the first rats that had proper turn off your micro warp drive scram, if I remember correctly. So there's a Vexer, but that can't get in here. So we'll head inside. Oh, yeah. Well, so because we're defensive plexing, right? We own this system and we're Mimitar. We're going to get a lot less reward, but I also don't need to kill the rat. So when defensive plexing, you're usually going to want to go for like the biggest site first to get the most value out of it. But at the same time, like, well, I guess there aren't any other bigger sites. That's step one. But also like scouts are the most restrictive site. So when I'm in a frigate, I like to knock out the scouts because a lot of times we'll be in destroyers or whatever, which means scouts can't be gotten. So when I do have a chance to get one, I try to. Also, why did my monitor just turn off? What is happening? What is happening? All right, well, it's back now. Weird. Ugh. So we just sit here for 10 minutes and see what happens. What do you guys want to talk about in the meantime? Gremlin's got your power cable. Yeah, it's been kind of quiet. Like, there was the big update, but you know, Plex actually, well, no, its low is down. One of the things I noticed, and it might be worth checking this. This actually is an interesting point. While the absolute price or the average price or whatever of Plex hasn't really changed, and I don't really have any of the historical data to back up what I'm about to say, but it does make sense that the split would widen potentially, because there's more likely that people are just selling their Plex like right away, which would push down the buy price. Normally, Plex margins are like razor thin and stay super aggressive in that way. So the fact that there is such a spread between the high and the low, that might be something to keep an eye on. Just waiting for the Drifter stuff to pick up again. Also, the new wormhole. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of exciting stuff to pay attention to. I'm just saying, like, one of the problems with streaming right now is that there isn't a ton to talk about. I do need to make that armor tanking guide, which we could probably do tomorrow, potentially. Federation Navy Comet. Oh boy, this is an ugly one. So I'm going to want to be 8 kilometers. Are you coming in? Nope. Aw. Almost got excited. The big thing right now is that goons are invading Horde, and I don't care about soft stuff. Yeah, and I don't try to cover, like, player wars. Yeah, it does seem like goons probably stopped their invasion, too. This is why I don't, like, whatever. There's stuff happening. There's, like, a waifu war right now in Lowsec, which I think is really funny. But it's just summer. Why didn't he come in? The AI waifu war. I mean, yeah, so, like, I don't know how serious it is. I've seen it on a couple posts about it on Reddit. So basically, like, there's been a couple of big capital brawls in Lowsec recently, between, like, 3 or 4 of the main, big groups, like, oh god, well, Set It and some others. So somebody posted a picture of, like, each of the different groups and, like, with a waifu, and that sort of has inspired people. So for those of you who are completely out of the loop, there's kind of this tradition in Japan to have, like, mascots. So this isn't, like, all kinds of companies will do this. It's a pretty typical thing where they'll make, like, an anime girl that is a representative of their product or company or whatever, just like a mascot, right? So, and of course, waifu being, I think, Japanese. I'm not an anime guy. Yeah, Init, Snuff, Fraternity, Set It, and Big Ab, which is Mimitar Fleet, right? So yeah, each of them have their own waifu girl now, and they're making propaganda with that. And I think that that's, like, the short and the long of the story. Deepwater Hooligans, thank you. Isn't, wait, hold on. But isn't, the Mimitar is in that, though. I think Snot, yeah. Thanks, I hate it. Yeah. I don't pretend to know who's with who, honestly. Well, if you remember, there was that New Eden news about the Capitol Brawl, where there was like shifting loyalties and all sorts of stuff like that. So I wouldn't necessarily follow any given statements about current alignments of the forces. Hold on one second. By the way, you know, speaking of waifus, if you want to get into Uma Musami, today is definitely the day to do it. At least culture stuff to discuss. Maybe I'll join Eve again just for the waifus. Hold on. Let me make sure there's nothing going on there. I'm gonna see if I can find the picture. There's still time to get the Maelstrom. Oh yeah. Oh shoot. Yeah. If you can, you need to get that Maelstrom skin. So make sure you're streaming. Anybody watching playing EVE Online besides the CCP stream, make sure it is not like covered up by a different full screen. Make sure it's your active tab and all that stuff, and make sure if they raid somebody, you immediately delete the raid in the URL and then reload the page, so that way you keep getting credit, because we want them Maelstrom skins. Oops. There was once a waifu war back in the day, which was actually, it was the anime war, right? Sorry, I just saw Yintan make a post, and that reminded me because he was involved in that one. It was like nullsec groups, where basically people like anime fans versus non-anime fans. But that was different. Oh, you've got 30 hours left to get the Maelstrom skin? Oh, wait. Only 5 hours left to get the Maelstrom? Just do what you can, guys. I'm trying to find... Here we go. Here we go. I found it. There you go. This is the kind of context for my fellow Empyreans you guys are here for, right? So here's their waifus. All right, and successfully defended. That's it for this system. So let's go ahead and check out a set. Yeah, 5 hours. Okay. Maelstrom skin doesn't need you to watch the CCP. Yes, you actually want to watch something other than the CCP stream, because the CCP stream is for the Gnosis skin, and I don't know if you can earn both at the same time. And if you actually, worse, if you haven't started at all, you might have to train the boost. You might have to get the booster first, which means you might be screwed. But if you can just start watching it now and it shows that you're earning the Maelstrom skin, then you're good to go. It's probably one of the better skin. Oh my god. That's not great. Okay. but it looks like the scout is empty. So let's go ahead and try to check out the scout. Oh, you didn't need to get the booster? Excellent. Yeah, but the Maelstrom does include CCP, but do you get credit for both by watching CCP? That's the part I don't know. The biggest thing is make sure if you're watching a streamer and they change that you like refresh and get rid of the referral piece in the URL, so that way it gives you credit. Yeah, no, okay. That's what I'm afraid of. Well, you can watch it for a few minutes and then see what happens with progress. But also, if you let the progress screen be in the full screen, you don't actually make progress while looking at how much progress you've made, which is dumb. One thing to note, guys, especially in Faction Warfare, it is absolutely worth checking every single rec now because, you know, you can get tags, which can be valuable, as you've always been able to do, but you can now get Skinner components and other pieces in them. Two monitors for the win. Yeah. Yeah, just make sure it's the active tab and you don't have something else full screen covering it up because Twitch needs to load the video. You can have it be muted, though. So what you guys doing? How's your guys' summer going? I've been basically forced away from my computer for the last half week or so, so I'm just kind of trying to settle back in a way. It is very hot. In fact, today, let's see. Where I am, it's already 90 degrees and it's going to get hotter. I've heard it's going to be triple digits today, which sucks. I would recommend That Guy Toxic if you're unsure. I watched them yesterday and they were doing filament PvP in a Maelstrom. That sounds like fun. We should do filaments with Maelstroms. That sounds like fun. Maelstroms are alpha friendly, by the way. They are Tech 1 Mimitar battleship. And they're a pretty strong ship, as I said earlier. Tackled a revelation on a gate with an SFI yesterday. Did they kill him? There's a rat. I need to get a skin and some emblems for this ship if I'm going to fly it more. You told your guys to go save the Rev? Ah, boo. I don't really blame you if it's your guys' that's captured, you know, caught. It's probably a lot easier to save a Rev than to kill a Rev. Yes, you did, Clue. Clue built me this ship. That's true. I will say, guys, if you guys are interested, we have been putting a lot of money and work into augmenting the Dodixie market. So the Dodixie market should be pretty good to use nowadays if you're in Galente space. So make sure to check it out. If there's any holes or anything missing, let us know. If there's anything that's too expensive, let us know. We'll get it corrected. But, you know, one of our really strong goals right now is to make the Dodixie market as healthy as we possibly can be. There's so many people in local, it's making me paranoid. I wonder what they're all doing. This is an Amar system, and there is 3 stations, so they could theoretically be, but like I want to say, well, let's look at range. No, there's 3 sites in range, and there are none of them. 4 sites in range, and there are none of them. So weird. I wonder what all these guys are doing. Amar. They're all part of the same corp. There's some curse sequencers. Station spinning? Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, they might all just be in state. Wait, Thrasher fleet issue. What am I in? I'm in a scout, so they can't come here. But this is also long range, so let's see. Oh, wait. Yeah. I guess the other Amar sites aren't even open yet. So they might be running the incursion. They could be running the incursion, theoretically. That's, yeah, not vigilante, a vigil. Vigil fleet issue. There is no vigilante in Eve. There's the vigilant. Or am I mispronouncing? Is that vigilant? Does vigilant have an E at the end? Nope. Sweet. Algos, also not something I need to worry about. So because none of the sites, see these 2 smalls here, they're not here, and they're not here, which means that no one's actually warped to them yet. So nobody could be inside of them. Hey, Hobby Pins. There sure are a lot of people in local, though. Vigilante sounds like a Serpentis-themed AT ship. Maybe when they come out with a Serpentis destroyer, that could be the Vigilante. Ooh, a Mollis. Okay. Okay. Not on short, though. On short. Once again, I want to be, let's call it 7. Let's call it 7. Dang it, rat just spawned. Coercer, Kikimora, Mollis. Okay, well, that's going to be a lot less. Oh, never mind. So 6, that's fine. And let's get them webbed. And damage on. Drones out. We can lock his drones just in case. Oh no, he's dead. And here's the Republic fleet. Firetail. Yeah. 6.5. Get ready to rep. If I need to. Rep. That's going to be fine. I'm hull tanked. So just kind of keep on eating him up. Keep on eating him up. Maybe overheat my guns again. And he's dead. Done and done. 2 for 1. So GF's in local. Woot and woot. And that Kikimora can't get in here. Cool. Two kills. Not bad at all. Well, now I've got some kill marks. Second, if they had both come in at the same time, I might have been in more trouble. But with them coming in just off of each other, wasn't good for them. Was not good for them. All right, time to loot this. Nothing good. Now let's go ahead and... Where's their Rex? Hey, Ragtag. We just talked about Solarfest at the beginning. It's on the wing plates. Oh, yep. There they are. They're flickering because I'm on hull. 3.5. Oh, Tristan. I don't know if I really want to keep fighting. I'm already damaged. Eh. What should I do? What should I do? I've got more. Whatever. If it's a blaster or a newt Tristan, I'm probably gonna be okay. I definitely want to be at like 8. Oh, nope, it's dead. It left. Proud to see one of my own creations waste some people. It's like watching your own kid beat up somebody else's kid. I don't necessarily want to see some other kid beat up, or my kid beat up another kid, but it is nice to see your weapons of war working out, huh? This was also a this fit was designed by Malak, I'm pretty sure. So way to go. I've only got 2.5 minutes. So I'm going to try to... my goal is to wait until the site is over. But we'll see. We'll see if I get pushed out. Well, I mean... Malak conceived it, and Clue, you birthed it into being. So I guess, Clue, you're the mom? It got a firetail. That's actually pretty sweet. I'm actually really happy about that. Low-key. Like... Yeah, it was also an ancillary armor repper and transverse bulkhead. So very similar in theory. Okay, I'm not... I don't necessarily want to get wiped out. One minute, 20 seconds. Okay, he's already gone. You love to stay at home and watch Real Housewives? You mean Twitch streams or YouTube streams, right? Thrasher fleet issue cannot come in. "55 seconds, but we'll probably get at least one. We'll get one more rat before it's over. This is kind of tense. There's so much in system. Oh, somebody has started the small and the medium. 24 seconds, which means the rat's going to spawn anytime now. Eight? Are you going to spawn at like 3 seconds? 3, 2, 1. Oh, hell yeah. 14,000 LP. How much is a Vigil Fleet issue in LP? I think that's like a whole LP, or like that's a whole Vigil Fleet issue just for that one site, right?
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
7.5? Oh yeah, see, look, there a lot of them are just docked up. And why don't we drop off some of this stuff? Not just for to make it so I don't lose it, but also make it so I don't run out of space, right? So sort by volume. I don't need spike. I don't need these modules. Oops. I just dragged it into the same square. All right. Back all. That looks fine. Yeah, it's 4K LP. Okay, well. So I got enough for another 3, almost 4 Vigil Fleet issues with LP. So it's a pretty good ship. Oh, shoot. I didn't even repair, did I? You can get progress on both skins, but if you watch a stream other than CCP stream, you'll get progress on the Maelstrom skin. Only right. Oh, no, I did repair. Haha. Oh, you can okay, so if you watch the CCP stream, you don't get progress on both. So if you want the Maelstrom skin right now, you need to not be watching the CCP stream. That's the bottom line. You need to be watching an EVE Online player that is not CCP's stream. Man, I'm nervous about the number of destroyers that I've seen around here if I'm going to go into a small. All right. Let's see how this one goes. Nope. Dragoon? I don't think a Dragoon's a good fight for me. Especially with a Slicer backing it up. This is... Okay. Yep, there they come.
Warp drive active.
Same pair of guys. A Dragoon and a Slicer. That's a nastier combination for me to deal with. Although the double web and scram would be nice for catching the Slicer. But, yeah. Probably overall a really bad matchup for me. What's up, Future? You should fit a tracking disruptor and go Desi hunting? Possibly. I mean, a blaster... I mean, Malak has killed some pretty nasty things with this ship. So... there's definitely some of that there. This place is hot, though. Let's go ahead and check out Isengard again.
Warp drive active.
We are min-mill right now. Would you be able to handle a Dragoon on its own? Drones are pretty rough for frigates. So... it kind of depends on how the Dragoons fit. But... you could theoretically defang it. There's a medium Navy 3. Let's go ahead and start that one. If you noticed, it actually didn't appear on my overview until I warped to it, which means it's a brand new site, and I'm the first one to warp to it. And because this is a defensive plexing, I don't actually have to kill the rat, which means I don't need to worry about DPS checks. And because I just opened it, well, it's a Navy. But like the advanced one right now is also not open. Normally you'd have to be concerned about like a curse or something being in the Navy, but right now I know there's nothing in the Navy. +1 in local. There is one Heron. I didn't check when I first got here to see if that was our ally. There's a new guy. I assume that the Heron is not going to come in here. That'd be pretty wild. Nope, he's scanning. There is a lot of signatures in this system. It's a good system to scan. But if the Dragoon was Newt fit... because, well, no, because the Dragoon Newts have additional range. I think that the Dragoon fit... a Dragoon should theoretically be able to kill this ship. For sure. I think, like... non-drone based destroyers that also use short-range weapon systems, those are going to be the ones that I'd be able to get. Like a blaster... Cormorant or Catalyst. Those would be pretty decent targets. No, you do not need to get back into Guild Wars 2, Clue. I don't even own Guild Wars 2 or Guild Wars. I never, like, I know it's like a whole phenomena, but like, I was actually a big WoW fanboy, and so I kind of missed. I don't know. Actually, that's not even true. I tried other MMOs. There was just something about Guild Wars 2 that, like, it became like the game I didn't play. Guild Wars 2 is free unless you want the expansions. The time is not nigh. It's fine. I've got my EVE Online. I've got my Raid Shadow Legends. I've got my Horse Girls. I've got my Final Fantasy 14. I've got my Phasmo. I'm good to go. I think that's all of them. Did I miss something? Why do I feel like I'm missing something? I don't know. That's true. For the Horse Girls, the time is nay. It is the day. It is the day for people that play Uma. No, man, I tried Galaxy Conquest. It's just, there's too many anti-patterns. There's just the one goal. If you're not completely like dedicated to it, you fall off really fast. It's just like, I tried a lot, really hard. And I can't. If there were other secondary like game modes where I could play with the stuff without it being that one scenario, then I would love it. And that's what a lot of games like Raid and other I've actually been playing a lot of different free-to-play over the last few months. I've been thinking about like making a video about like free-to-play and what it's like, because I think that there's a lot of fun to be had. And I would say that like the best strategy for being a free-to-player is to be, oh gosh, a Thrasher. So this is a good one. Like a Thrasher could either be a big problem for me or not that bad, depending on whether or not it... Oh, never mind. There's no hostiles in system. But like a Thrasher could be okay fight if it's an autocannon Thrasher. So if I'm giving up vaping, I have $40 a month that I'm not doing drugs with to waste. What to do with the money? The summer sale did just start on Steam. There's that. But you can always... I don't know. That's a good question. I'd have to think about it. I'm not going to jump to an answer. But the point is that like, if there's a lot of different free-to-play games out there now, and they're all vying for your attention. And so if you just play as a tourist, like every single free-to-play game has like their big honeymoon phase, right? And so I've just been kind of having fun being a tourist of different free-to-play games, playing them for like a day or two, just to get to the end of that like honeymoon chase. And then moving on to the next one. You know, I don't spend any money in them. Supreme Commander is really good. But yeah, I mean, you know, as I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I want to do a game jam. You know, I've made a game before, and I want to get more into building games again. And so like studying game design is very interesting to me. And so checking out all these different games to see what they're doing and to see like what they prioritize and what they do well and what they do not so well has been a lot of fun. The Uma one is definitely the most surprising one for me. I'd want to make an Eve mod for Subcom? Subcom? What's Subcom? What kind of Eve mod? I don't know what bar or Subcom is. Oh, Supreme Command. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, an Eve mod for Supreme Commander. Got it. Yeah, making mods would be something that could be cool. That's one thing I've actually never, like, tackled before. Too much? What happened? What are you sorry for, Clue? It's so crazy how quiet it can be in this system and how noisy it is in the system just next door. You're glad that I didn't notice. Okay. Nope, I really didn't notice. You tie it into the faction warfare map that you'd be able to play on. That's actually kind of a cool idea. Would be like make a game that uses the live data of the like world state of Eve in a different world. I've thought about like trying to make a game that would effectively be a reimagining of PI, but I think that's a cool idea too. My money is going to subscriptions, not actual games to buy. This morning I went and I canceled all my actual, like, I've had a couple subscriptions left over, like a streaming service or whatever that I just haven't gotten around to turning off. I went through them and axed them all today. I think I have one subscription. Oh no, I still have a Minecraft subscription, but that's for my son. But the Final Fantasy subscription is my only subscription right now, I think. I don't know why I'm hitting D-scan so much when there's nothing. So, like, it's a server for my son and I, and like it's there's a Microsoft has a thing where like you can unlock a whole bunch of extra stuff that you can have because they have like a whole market with coins now, and you get a server to play on and stuff. But yeah. And I think I still pay for my son's Roblox subscription. So yeah, there's that. When you're broke, you're actually aware of how many subscriptions you have. I mean, there are services for that, but I'd only talk about them if they paid me money. It is handy that I had to update my debit card a few months ago, and I just didn't update a lot of my subscriptions. So a lot of things just kind of expired. And I was like, oh, well. Although I gotta say, guys, I am starting to get kind of hungry, and so we might want to wrap things up somewhat soon. I think I should still be able to stream tomorrow. Friday, I'm busy. I have to go do something. But I think tomorrow we can stream again. If there's nothing big going on, I'll try to have the armor tanking video ready to be recorded by then. Well, let's try that. Just go through your bank transactions and find stuff you miss. Yeah, I mean, you can do that. But so there's two problems with that. One, you have to kind of catch it at the right time and then and follow up on it. And two, like so many of them, it's actually kind of hard to tell what's what in a lot of things. Like the actual like entry is sometimes confusing, especially when it's like a subscription through something, like you have Google Play. Oh yeah, I do have a Google Play subscription too. But like, if you buy something through Google Play, sometimes it'll like register as being through that as opposed to any given thing. I've definitely had it before, and I've had other people do it before where Like they'll see something on their records and then freak out and then realize like later, oh wait, no, that's that. Hey Malin, you might want to come here. There's 2.5 minutes left and it's a -3. So come on in. I think probably after this site we'll wrap things up for the day. It was a quiet day, but I definitely wanted to stream today because, you know, it's been too long. Again, tomorrow, if there's nothing else going on, we should have that tanking video. Yeah, no. Well, yeah, come here, finish this one and then go finish the other one and then you'll get both in 5 minutes. Easy. Well, 6. Star Trek Online? Nope. 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 I did find out that CCP has an international charge now. Oh. Huh. Lotro? I did actually get into Lotro for a little while. Serenalen really likes Lotro. We could do a Kurr. I think we could get a Kurr. I'm ready if you are. Come on. He'll probably kill us. Except for my web range is same as your web range, which is a bit of a disadvantage for you. He's not even a new Tristan. It's gonna be fine. Oh. Or we'll just finish the site instead. I still want to wait a second. Come on in. We're hanging in out just to say hi. Give me one good fight before I go. Well, I guess give me a second good fight before we go. Killing 2 guys at once is pretty good, huh? Oh. Yep, it's a Navy. Yep, sorry. You can't come in. All right, let's go to the advanced.
Warp drive active.
Pull your drones. I mean, obviously. $20 million for a Vigil Fleet issue. Why won't this gate activate? Yeah.
Warp drive active.
Gotta get inside. Gotta get inside. Is he coming? I mean, you are the one in a crew. He's like 2v1. I'm like, well, you know. It's up to you, man. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh no. Yeah, that's it. Oh man. Something tells me that was way more damage than he was expecting that to be. Well, good fight. 75 million ISK in loot. All right, I'm gonna go dock up. Good luck, Malin. I'll be back in a little bit. Well, actually, hold on. Recall drones. Align Avanod. Didn't even rep. What the what was in that wreck? Link the kill. In, like, local. I don't know. Oh! I got an A-type afterburner and an A-type small armor repper and an Imperial Navy multispectrum. Holy! Why did he do that? Why did he do that? Also, look, 61% of the damage versus the Tristan. Hell yeah. This is a great ship. We need to get a skin and some logos for this thing. There you go, Malin. There's 30 million. Oh shit, that's all I have. That thing wanted to be good. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to make a Vigil Fleet issue look good. That's true. Please don't. Please, 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 please. Please don't. Please don't scram me. Oh, thank God. I'm like, if I get killed by Sancha rats with this shit in my cargo hold, I am going to be actually upset. Look at that. Hot dang. Well, that's a good way to end the stream. Oh, I just got a A-type afterburner, A-type small armor repairer, and a Imperial Navy multispectrum coating. Yeah, that's true. It would look good with all black. It would also look good with like a lot of like reflective, like maybe the abyssal, like the really dark red metallic and the really dark, like the dark greenish metallic that we always use for everything. Whew. Well, with that, I think I can say that I have been Astrothi. I've been playing this game since 2010, talking about it since 2012, and I'm here to put even to context for you, my fellow Empyreans. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out today. I know it's a pretty chill day. It is summer. We should be back tomorrow, almost certainly. We won't be here Friday, but let me know if there's anything else that we should talk about besides just the armor tanking stuff. But also, I need to go back and keep editing that lore video too. There's a lot to talk about. check podcast. So here's a pro tip. Wait, actually, you're right. No, you're right. No, wait, you're right. Oh, I feel bad. No way. What? So I was, oh no. Oh no. So it's funny, I didn't look right. It was you? Okay. Well, first of all, good on you, by the way. I did not like woo. Here, I don't have. You know what? Since you're a good sport about it, tell you what, I'll do this. Check it out. We're going to grab that repper. Hold on. We're going to grab the Afterburner, the repper, the multi-spectrum, and a Master Arm Cerebral Accelerator. And we're going to send it to you. Good sport, man. You sure? Tell you what, you can accept or reject the contract. It's up to you. But you're a good sport about stuff. My God. Okay, so normally I was going to say, like, usually the kill mail for the pod takes a while. And I was going to say, don't take it, Ash will have guilt. If you don't take it, Ash will have guilt. Nah, I don't. If he doesn't want to take it, then he doesn't have to take it, and then I'll just have it and it'll be fine. This is one chance to have it back. But, so normally, like, the kill mail for a pod takes a while, but if the pod has something in it, then it's instant. But I got that backwards in my brain for a few seconds, so that's why I didn't check the kill mail, because it was instant. And I was like, oh yeah, if it's instant, that means there isn't anything. But then I was like, wait a minute. No, it isn't. That means that there might be something. And this is something. This is something. 1.8 bill worth of pod. Yeesh. Well, like I said, good sport, good times, good fights. That means I should have... Oh, no, I didn't get the kill mark on that third one. But I do have the 2 kill marks from the 2v1 earlier. Plus LP, you're right. We did get LP for that. 50,000, which is, I mean, quite a bit. Another 10 Vigil Fleet issues. All right, I've been Astronaut. I've been playing this game since 2010, talking about it since 2012, and I'm here to put even to context for you, fellow Imperians. Thank you guys for hanging out. This was a good time. We should be back tomorrow. Blah, 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 blah. Please consider becoming a member or a sponsor of the stream. It would really, really help out, especially during these summer months when numbers are low and times are hard for everybody. If you can support, please do so. All right. Hey, it's yours to accept with the free Master Arm Cerebral Accelerator. Thanks for dropping by and being a good sport about things. I'm not, again, I want to be clear. I'm not giving it to you because I feel bad. I'm not giving it to you because whatever. I'm giving it to you because you're a viewer, and that's cool. So congratulations, you get your stuff back. All right. I've been Ashrathi, the voice of New Eden. And until next time, I'll see you in space.
Bring on the wrecking machine. city.